All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So short week here for the New York Jets, right? 1-1 on the season, losing week 1 against the Niners, coming back, winning against the Tennessee Titans, of course, in Tennessee. They're taking on the division rival New England Patriots, also 1-1, had a huge, crazy upset victory against the Bengals, but then dropped the ball in overtime against the Seattle Seahawks. Close game, but still lost. So enormous. This game is enormous. Unfortunately, the Buffalo Bills are 2-0, but the Miami Dolphins are 1-1. So in other words, if you assume that the Dolphins are going to lose going across the country to play the Seattle Seahawks, a team that is, rolling out a great defense, and the Dolphins they have to roll out Skylar Thompson. If the Dolphins do in fact lose on Sunday, that means that the winner of this Thursday night game is, worst case scenario, going to be in second place in the division. So, again, these wins matter. These games are huge. The AFC, and I'm not over-exaggerating here, I seriously can't remember a time in my life where one conference has been this loaded. You can just go down the list of, even the teams that are 0-2 are still fantastic, right? With Cincinnati and Baltimore, yeah, they have some things to figure out for sure. But it's not like, that's a 5-win team. You're not watching the Ravens thinking, yeah, that team's going to be picking in the top 5. You're not watching the Titans thinking, yeah, that's a 2-win squad. These teams are good. So every single win matters. When we get to December and they throw up the graphic of, wild card race, divisional leaders, games behind, it never says this team's 6 games back, this game is 5 games back. It's always a half game, game and a half, 1 game. So divisional win, conference win, yeah, these things really, really matter despite it only being week 3. So it's the home opener for the New York Jets. And again, they're taking on a Patriots team, which I gotta be honest, I have been totally impressed with. When I look at the Patriots roster, it doesn't blow me away, but yet they're playing technically sound football. They're doing the fundamentals really, really well, and they're not only just hanging in there and competing, but in some cases they're actually outplaying their opponents. This is a team that you can tell is well coached. If you're a Patriots fan right now, you got to be excited about the new era. You have your brand new franchise quarter, or what you would hope to be is the franchise quarterback in Drake May. It looks like the job isn't too big for Gerard Mayo. Again, 2 weeks into the season, super small sample size. But just putting myself in the shoes of Patriots fans out there, you got to imagine that you're excited about not only just where you stand right now and what you're seeing develop every single week, but the future, the plan. It really does feel as though New England has a solid vision in place on how to not only, of course, just develop Drake May, but how to build this roster from top to bottom. I think for me, the 3 players that have stood out so far for New England have been Jabril Peppers, Kyle Duggar, and Keion White. I think, when we talk about the safeties, they do a great job of just getting to the football, flocking to the football. But not only just that, being around the ball, they can wrap up an open field and bring the ball carrier down. That's exactly what you want in your safeties. Yes, of course, they did get beat over the top. The Geno Smith bomb to DK Metcalf. You're never going to be perfect, right? But I really believe that the New England Patriots have a solid safety tandem in the back end of the defense. And then Keion White, talk about just an edge setter. I really liked him back at Georgia Tech. Big, physical, fits New England's defense perfectly, right on the defensive line. 3 players that I would be really excited about if I was a New England fan. They're also running the ball really effectively. And granted, we have to take it with a grain of salt. Only 2 games into the season, but they are 4th in football, averaging 177 rushing yards per game. Why is that relevant? Because the Jets are bottom 5 in stopping the run. Again, small sample size, and we played the 49ers, a freaking fantastic team in running the football. And Tony Pollard and the Tennessee Titans with Callahan's offense is definitely nothing to scoff at. The Jets have had their work cut out for them, but as a Jet fan, you want to see more in the run stuffing department, right? You don't want to be gashed on the ground, especially in this day and age where all the rules are about protecting the quarterback. The pass interferences, it seems like there's just so many flags these days. You don't want to just be, again, getting beat on the ground. And I don't want to make it sound like running the football is a simple task. But when you have all these things working against the defense already, in my opinion, you need to be able to stand on having a solid run defense. It doesn't have to be the best in football, it doesn't have to be top 3, but at least keep it within the top, half of football. I think you'll be okay. So what can this Jets, let's start with the defense, because it really feels as though the defense is what has been causing a lot of problems over these past 2 weeks. What can this Jets defense do to have success against Jacoby Brissett, AVP in this Pats offense? I think for me, there has to be a focus on slowing down Ramondre Stevenson and Hunter Henry. Both guys have looked impressive this season, and I really would not mind the Jets to throw a lot of cover 3 looks, drop Chuck Clark, a guy who struggled in coverage, drop him down into the box to help defend against the run. Again, we have not been good against stopping the run. Bring that extra body down and force Jacoby Brissett with young wide receivers to beat Gardner, DJ Reed, and potentially Michael Carter if he's healthy and good to go. And then I would use that free safety as kind of a roaming center fielder back there, right? Use Tony Adams for the help. And again, just force Brissett to beat you on the perimeter. I think if we can clog up the middle of the field, again, stuffing the run. And by the way, Antonio Gibson is not anybody to just sweep under the rug. He's been impressive as well. I believe he also has over 100 rushing yards so far. I mean, the Pats really run the football here. That's what they did in Cleveland with Alex Van Pelt. They're doing it in New England. No disrespect at all to Jacoby Brissett, but it's not like you're going to see him throw for 380 yards weekly. He's not going to be a top 5 passer, a top 10 passer. But I really think New England's bread and butter is to get into second and manageable, third and shorts, utilize the stuff underneath, right? The crossing patterns, the quick turnarounds and whatnot, the checkdowns. Jacoby Brissett plays really smart football. He doesn't have crazy INT statistics. History does not show that Jacoby Brissett makes dumb decisions with the football. He does take care of the football pretty well. So if I'm Ulbrich and Saleh, again, I'm stuffing the middle of the field. I'm stuffing guys in the box and forcing Brissett with his arm, with young wide receivers away, again, in MetLife Stadium, home opener. I'm assuming that the place is going to be going off, Jets fans everywhere. I would really like to see the corners one-on-one on the outside. I really think they can make plays if it's just a one-on-one opportunity and our guys, have an opportunity to make a play on the football with that extra security in the back end with Tony Adams. So that's my plan defensively. So for me, as far as the Jets offense is concerned, I really think that sticking to the quick passing game could really be beneficial here. I think when you watch Aaron Rodgers have success so far through these 2 games, it really feels as though when he gets up to the line of scrimmage and has these pre-snap decisions already made, right? He knows where he's going to go with the football based off of a specific matchup that he likes, or he just likes Garrett Wilson's chance on a one-on-one, whether it be in man or zone. Chances are it's successful, right? We've seen that so far. I feel like where this passing game has struggled is when guys maybe struggle to get open initially, and Rodgers has to stand back there. And you can tell Roger, again, 40 years old, still knocking off the rust. He's not as mobile as he once was back in Green Bay, where he would just scamper around, extend plays, and then just, find the open guy. It does seem like that elusiveness, that mobility isn't what it once was, which is totally fine and expected, right? We knew that, again, coming off the Achilles at 40, he's not going to look like he's, 32 with Green Bay, 33 years old. So I really think in game preparation throughout the week, or, over these next couple of days here, because it's a short week, that just some scripted plays I think would be awesome, right? Quick little half-step drops, Rodgers gets the football out of his hands. Let's utilize Braylon Allen. Let's utilize Malachi Corley in the early parts of the game. Just get these playmakers the football and get the ball out of Rodgers' hands. Not only are you just getting him more comfortable back there, but you're giving... you're limiting hits that Rodgers is going to take. He took a lot of big hits against the Tennessee Titans. And B, you're limiting pass rushing opportunities for the New England Patriots, a defense that, again, has looked fundamentally sound, technically sound. They do there's a focus on detail. There's a focus on, again, doing the small things correctly. And they've had a lot of success with doing that. So I think if we're in a lot of situations where maybe the run blocking isn't as good, right? It hasn't been as good as what a lot of Jets fans initially thought coming into the season. If we're in a lot of 2nd and 12s, 3rd and 13s, obvious passing situations where we need chunk plays, right? So routes have to develop down the field. I think that's really not the place that I want to be. Even though Rodgers ripped off some sweet throws against the Titans in big critical situations, right? That pass to Mike Williams on 2nd and 16, huge, right? That the over the shoulder drop in the bucket pass to Garrett Wilson, like those plays are massive. But I don't want to be relying on those handful of plays and just assuming that everything's just going to work out every single time, every single week. So that's kind of my plan of attack offensively, right? Quick passing game, get the ball out of his hands. And something else to make a note of, the Patriots secondary is allowing a completion percentage above 73%, right? I believe it's right underneath 74%. And that's obviously a great sign for opposing quarterbacks playing at home under the lights, primetime football. You want to have confidence that you can be able to complete passes and have success through the air. So I cannot wait for the game. I really, really cannot wait for it. There's, to me at least, more pressure, excitement, and anxiousness surrounding this game than the previous two, in my opinion. You know, I know that first drive of the first week is always nerve-wracking for every fan, but for me, it really feels as though this week is just like, man, lots of pressure here on both sides. But of course, we all know the situation that the Jets are currently in. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. And as always, go Jets.